Well, howdy folks. Welcome back to Venture the Terrain. If you're new here, I'm glad you found us. Grab a cold drink, pull up a seat, and let's talk shop. This channel is all about off-roading, building confidence behind the wheel, and learning from the road less traveled. Whether you're a seasoned vet or just starting to dabble in the world of off-roading, we're here to keep it real, have some fun, and make sure you're ready for anything the trail throws your way. Now, today's video is a big one, and I'll tell you, it's a lesson that took me years to fully understand. We're talking about a big misconception in the off-roading world, and that is, mods don't make you a better driver, experience does. I know that might ruffle some feathers, but stick with me here. I'm gonna break it all down and explain why this truth is the key to mastering the trail, not just your rig. Let's dive in. I've seen it a million times. A new off-roader buys a truck, throws on a bunch of mods, bigger tires, lift kits, lockers, the works, and they think they're ready for anything. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that mods don't have their place. There are definitely mods that can help with certain challenges, but when it comes down to it, mods aren't gonna make you a better driver. No amount of fancy gear will teach you how to handle yourself when you're in the thick of it. I mean, let's think about it for a second. You've got all the bells and whistles, but do you know how to use them? Do you know when to engage your lockers or when to back off the throttle? Can you read the trail and choose the best line without relying on that shiny new lift kit? These are the questions that matter when you're out on the trail, not how many mods you've got bolted onto your rig. The truth is, off-roading isn't about how your vehicle performs, it's about how you drive it. It's about being able to anticipate obstacles, make adjustments on the fly, and know when to push and when to pull back. You can have the tricked-out rig of your dreams, but if you don't have the skills to match, you're still gonna find yourself stuck, frustrated, and wishing you'd spent a little more time learning the ropes instead of shopping for mods. Now, let me give you a little story from my own experience. A few years back, I was out on a trail that had some serious rock crawling challenges. There were boulders all around, tight spots, and the kind of terrain that really puts your rig to the test. I was with a buddy of mine who had been wheeling for decades. This guy's an absolute pro. Now, my rig was modded to the nines. I had everything from a beefy suspension to lockers and big old tires. I thought I was gonna walk through this trail like it was a Sunday drive. But guess what? I got stuck. And not just a little stuck. I'm talking full-on winch-out frustration level stuck. Meanwhile, my buddy was cruising through. No problem. His rig wasn't even as decked out as mine, but he knew exactly how to read the terrain. He wasn't relying on his mods. He was relying on his seat time. He knew when to feather the throttle, when to back off, when to use momentum, and when to stay steady. And the key part? He'd been on these trails so many times, he could almost predict what was coming next. That's the magic of experience. So, what's the takeaway from this? You can put all the mods in the world on your rig, but if you don't have the experience to know how to use them properly, it's all for nothing. I could have spent more time learning the trail and how to approach those obstacles, rather than just assuming my gear would get me through. That day taught me a lot about the value of seat time and really understanding the terrain I was on. So now we know it's the experience, not the gear. But let's dive a little deeper. What exactly does experience bring to the table? For one, it gives you control. The more you drive, the better you get at handling your rig in all conditions. You start to feel every little bump, every shift in the dirt. You can anticipate what the terrain's gonna do next and adjust accordingly. But it's more than just control, it's also about adaptation. You see, no trail is ever the same. Even if you've been down a path before, the conditions can change from one day to the next. Rocks move, mud gets slicker, and weather can completely change the landscape. A good off-roader isn't just a great driver, they're a great adapter. Knowing when to change your approach, knowing when to switch from a slow crawl to a quick push, or when to let the rig do its thing without getting in the way is where true mastery lies. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that it's not always about being the fastest or the toughest, it's about being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes that means being patient, waiting for the right moment, and then making your move. Other times, it's about holding back and knowing when to go slow. Experience teaches you this. It teaches you how to read the trail and, more importantly, how to read your rig. Okay, you're probably thinking, but wait, mods have their place, right? And you're absolutely right. I'm not here to tell you that mods don't have their place. They absolutely do. Certain mods, like lockers or a good suspension, can make your life easier when you hit tougher trails. But here's the thing, they shouldn't be the first thing you rely on. When you're new to off-roading, don't jump straight into modding. Spend some time getting familiar with your stock rig. Learn how it behaves, learn how to control it, and spend time on different types of trails. Mods are meant to enhance your driving, not replace your need to learn the fundamentals. A modded rig can help you handle more extreme terrain, but it can't teach you how to drive smarter. The real trick is finding the right balance. As you get more comfortable and experienced, you'll know what mods make sense for the kind of trails you tackle. But always remember, no matter how many mods you throw on, it won't replace your need to be a good driver. It's about enhancing your skill, not hiding your lack of it. Here's a fun question for you. At what point does experience become wisdom? We all start as rookies, making rookie mistakes, and slowly, through trial and error, we start to build up knowledge. But there's a shift that happens when you go from being a good driver to a wise driver. It's like a light bulb goes off in your head, and you start to see the trail in a new way. I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about this very thing. He said, when I stop getting stuck often, that's when I know I'm getting good. And he's right. But it's more than that. It's about knowing how to drive in a way that's effortless. It's about reading the obstacles before you even get there. It's about being able to feel your way through a trail, like you're part of the landscape itself. When you reach that point, that's when you've really crossed into wisdom. But here's the thing. No matter how experienced or wise you become, there's always something new to learn. The trail has a way of humbling even the most seasoned drivers. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was, the day you stop learning is the day you start getting stuck. So always stay humble. Don't let your gear or your experience give you an inflated ego. There's always more to learn, always another trick to pick up. Whether it's from a newer driver or someone with more experience than you, there's wisdom to be gained from every encounter. Alright folks, I'm gonna wrap this up now. The bottom line is this. Mods can be fun and they can help, but they're not the secret sauce. The real secret to becoming a better driver on the trail is seat time. It's learning how to read the land, how to control your rig, and how to adapt to the ever-changing conditions. And that only comes with experience. So take your time. Don't rush to mod out your rig. Spend your time behind the wheel, getting stuck, getting out, and learning how to tackle obstacles with confidence and control. Once you've got that down, then go ahead and tweak your rig to your heart's content. But remember, skills first, mods second. Thanks for hanging out with me today, folks. I hope this video gave you a little perspective on the true keys to becoming a great off-roader. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more adventures and tips. Until next time, keep it real, keep it humble, and as always, keep venturing the terrain.